And we're live. What's up, y'all? Welcome to Code Unlocked, the show where I try to help you find the code to unlock your life. Do we like it? Maybe. See how it sticks or not. But welcome back, episode 12, titled "Don't Listen to This." So if you're listening to this, you're not very good at reading instructions. Today I want to talk to you guys about getting started on things. I've talked about this in the show before, but basically it doesn't have to be fancy. That's kind of the theme here. Meaning, just get started. Right? With whatever it is, just do it. Take the first step. Everybody wants to have this perfect product, and they never actually start. But they need to remember, or they need to learn, that it won't ever be perfect until it sucks first. This show will never be perfect until it sucks first. It sucks right now. But it's getting better. I get better every day. Every time I go live, it gets better. Every time I come up with new topics to talk about, share with you guys, it gets better. Every time I have guests on and they talk about their story, it gets better. It sucks, but it'll get better, and it's getting better. But it'll never be perfect if I don't start. I can buy a new camera. I can buy a new microphone. I can get this sick fancy setup. I can buy 7 microphones. I can have 18 chairs here and an audience and a stage and book 10 guests in a week or have 10 guests on the show. But unless I ever actually do it, nothing's going to change. And then imagine if I do all that stuff, right? I buy this sick new camera. I get a bunch of new microphones, or I get this sick upgraded setup. And then I go live and a bunch of errors happen, or the stream crashes, my mic doesn't work, the audio sucks. And I have all this set up and it looks like I know what I'm doing, but I haven't done anything yet. It's like, what the fuck? This guy has all this cool stuff. Looks like a professional, but the quality is terrible. That's because I didn't put in the reps. I made it look fancy and I just never did anything, right? So it doesn't have to be fancy. In fact, most of the time it's not fancy. Most of the time, the things that you do, especially when you're first starting, but the things that you do, it looks like shit. It's ugly. It's not a perfect picture, not a perfect environment, not a perfect scenario, no perfect conditions. There will never be a perfect time to do anything. You just have to do it, right? You want to go for a run. Chances are it might start raining. It might be too hot, it might be too cold. Whatever it may be, there will never be a perfect conditions. You don't have the motivation to do it, but you just have to do it. It doesn't have to be fancy. You just need to get started. Boom. That's the theme for tonight. Welcome back to episode 12. It doesn't have to be fancy. Okay. Hope you guys are having a good night so far. Good day. What is it? It's April 10th, and it is so nice outside. You know, I talked about on the last episode, constant snow. It's been like winter for 6 months, and not just a normal winter, just snow, bad weather. I swear I've shoveled my driveway 15 times. You wake up in the morning, Monday morning, after a decent weekend or a good week last week, and it's just another 6 inches of snow. It's like, geez. Well, this past weekend, beautiful. Easter was awesome. I think it was like 65 today. It was maybe 72, sunny, had a little breeze, but just so nice out. So nice out. And it's kind of funny. I noticed how much more motivated I am to do things when you get a little sun, a little serotonin. You walk outside, the birds are chirping. It's nice out. You get to wear shorts, get to wear a nice short sleeve shirt, tank top, whatever it may be. It's just like these things that I've missed for so long. And I talk about them all the time, right? I talk about them in class. If you know me, I keep complaining about the snow, even though I picked up snowboarding this year, which has been fun. I'm very excited to do some spring snowboarding, but just ready for spring, ready for summertime. We have had an intense winter. So, and I've seen it everywhere at the gym. Everybody comes in. They were super motivated. The gym was packed today, more so than normal. Classes were pretty full. And everybody just had a pep in their step, different vibes. People felt good. People were motivated to be at the gym or do whatever it is, go to work. People were just stoked to be there, and it was just cool to see. Open up the garage door. We went for a little run for the warm-up, a little cool-down walk. And it just made me think about how much effect nice weather, the sun can have on you. And it makes sense. You have bad weather, overcast, gloomy conditions. It's snowing every day. It's hard to want to do things. It's hard to, even if you already have the discipline and the motivation, it's hard to continue that, right? If you've built it, it's a bit easier than if you didn't. But if you don't have that and you're trying to start, it's really easy to just give up or to never start. And I can see why people will never get started, because there'll never be perfect conditions, and they'll start when it's the middle of December, it's middle of January, and they're having a crazy winter, and then it just dawns on them that it's going to be rough for the next couple months, or it's going to be rough forever, honestly. The rest of their life is going to be a grind. When we, and I say we as the people who have like built up discipline or go to the gym all the time, whatever it may be, we don't want to go all the time, right? Like, we enjoy being there for the most part, but it's not like I wake up every day and I'm like, oh yes, I cannot wait to go to the gym. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes I have a fun workout and I'm excited for it. But that's not every day. Sometimes it happens. Majority of the time, no. Most disciplined people are lazy, and this isn't in a bad way, right? They're lazy. They don't want to do these things, but they know that they have to get done, and they've built up the discipline. They've done it. They put in the reps. They've done enough over and over and over again to know that the job still has to get done. It doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter that you don't want to do it. It doesn't matter that it's snowing. It doesn't matter that you're sick. It doesn't matter that you don't feel good. It doesn't matter that you're upset. It doesn't matter that you had a shitty day yesterday. It doesn't matter that today might be shitty too. They do it anyway. And these people know that, even though we're not motivated to do so. We don't want to do it every day, but we do it anyway. Right? It's kind of a motto, do it anyway. Tell people that all the time. You don't feel good? Do it anyway. See how you feel after the fact. You're upset? Do it anyway. See how you feel after the fact. Don't want to do something? Do it anyway. See how you feel after the fact. 9 times out of 10, you'll feel better. You'll feel more accomplished. This goes back to the motivation comes before the action. Action comes before the motivation. You're not going to get the motivation until you do the thing. You do it, then you get motivated. Boom. Now you'll do it the next time. I notice I say boom a lot. Sorry if that's annoying, but I was actually coaching today, and I was demoing deadlifting, and I was like standing it up, and I would say boom, and I was like, okay. I wonder if people notice that, if it's annoying or not. So anywho, doesn't have to be fancy. Just get started and do it. Moving on, you are a product of your environment. I think we hear this all the time. I've talked about it a couple times on the show before. The people you surround yourself with are the people you are going to be like, or the person you're going to be like. You are those people, or if you're not, you're eventually going to be, right? If you hang out with a bunch of partiers, a bunch of alcoholics, and I've talked about this on the show before, when I used to party all the time, back in my unhealthy fat code days, the people that I would party with, I thought they were my friends, right? Because we would hang out and we would party and we'd have a good time. But taking a step back, or when that stopped, when I gave that up, I would be like, we have nothing in common. I think I talked to Dustin about this on the show. Yeah, we talked about it in that episode. We were talking about, like, we have these friends, or people that we think are friends, or they are friends for the time, whatever it may be. But the only thing we had in common was to party, to drink, to have a good time, but without that. And if we didn't do that, we wouldn't hang out. And if we did hang out, it would be awkward. It'd be weird. I would be like, just stare at each other. It never happened, because if we hung out, it would lead to that. We'd go and have a good time and party. Otherwise, I'm just like thinking to myself, man, we have nothing in common. Why are we hanging out? And it was just because we wanted to party together. And then if we weren't partying, it's like awkward. It's like, all right, well, I'll see you later. See you next time. Give me a call, whatever it may be. And that's what I mean by you're a product of your environment. The people who you surround yourself with are the people you are going to become. The people you already are like. You might already be that person. So you need to take some inventory. Is that the person you want to be? Right? Take some inventory on your friends circle, the people you see every day, your relationships, the people you work with. You can't really control who you work with, right? But you can control where you work. And if where you work isn't where you want to be, what you want to be doing, maybe it's time to make a change. So take some inventory on that. Think about that. Where are you currently? Are the people you see every day and hang out with every day, talk to every day, do you want to be like them? And do they want to be like you? Do you want them to influence you? Do you want to have an influence on them? Are they already having an influence on you? They probably are. They probably influence you in some way, positive or negative. Why are you there? Do you want to be there? Are you there because it's convenient? Because that's all you know? Are you there because you don't know how to make a change? You hate it, but you do want to change? Goes back to, it doesn't have to be fancy. There's not going to be a perfect time, a perfect condition to make these changes. You just have to take that step and make the change if you do want to make that change. But take some inventory on it. Just think about it. I think it's pretty easy. You just ask yourself, why do I hang out with these people? Why do I work here? Why do I do this? Why are my hobbies this? If you can answer them and be happy about your answer and be honest with your answer and be honest with yourself, then fine. But if you can't, it might be time to make a change. I think that's key. And I think it's easy to take inventory on kind of life in general. It doesn't have to be your friends or your relationships, but like asking yourself, where am I currently? And do I want to be here? Do I like my job? Do I like the relationship I'm in? Do I like my housing situation? Do I like the state I live in, the city I live in? And answer those questions honestly when you ask them to yourself. And if you can say, yes, I love it here. This is my dream job. I'm in the best relationship of my life. I have the best friends ever. I go to the right gym, whatever it may be, then awesome. But if you can't answer those honestly, then maybe it's time to look a little bit deeper and make a change, right? You are a product of your environment. Do you want to be a product of that environment? If not, change your environment. Changing your environment will change the product being you, and you'll go towards the step that you want to be going. It's hard and it won't be easy, right? It's going to be a challenge. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be something that you don't want to do. Just like anything. It's going to be uncomfortable. You got to take that first step, but it gets easier. And then as you do it, right, you get better at it. And then maybe you find yourself in a situation where you enjoyed it for a little bit, and then you ask yourself the same question again. Do I want to be here, right? We all have these thoughts of like changing. We want to change all the time. And that's okay, right? You want to explore something, a different venture, career venture, business venture. Explore those things and then check in again. And then in the next 6 months, check in a year. Check in all the time. Fuck, you might wake up and you want to change a week after you've already done it. So check in with yourself. Hey, Momi. Momi's in the chat. She says you're an old soul, man. Thanks, Momi. I've gotten that before. That I've got an old soul. That's an interesting thing to kind of think about too, is how you come across people in your life, and like Momi says, they have old souls, or maybe they're immature, maybe they're a young soul. They're exactly where they should be with their mind. They're 22 years old and they act 22 and they have the wisdom of a 22-year-old. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but it's just kind of interesting how people have different mindsets and different levels of wisdom or whatever it may be. But I've gotten that before. Momi, thanks. And shout out. Hope you're having a good night so far. Thanks for being here. But yeah, just going back to product of your environment. It kind of goes back to my last episode with imposter syndrome. I think people are exactly where they should be. And that's either a positive or a negative thing. You are where you should be because you took the positive necessary steps to get there and you're in a better spot now. Or you're in the same spot because you didn't take those steps and you're in a negative spot, or you're in a bad spot. Check in with that too. Are you taking the necessary steps to make your life better? Are you just cruising by, being comfortable? That's fine. Everybody likes to be comfortable. But you don't grow being comfortable, right? You'll never change. You're just going to be content, which is, again, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're asking yourself, how do I make more money? How do I grow my business? How do I get fitter? How do I lose weight? You're not going to do any of those things by being comfortable. You have to take the step that's going to make you uncomfortable, and that's how you grow. That's how you make more money. That's how you get fitter. That's how you lose weight. That's how you do whatever. You have to take that step, get uncomfortable, grow. It's this never-ending cycle in life. You grow, you become uncomfortable because you're trying to grow and change. You get to that next step, you get comfortable again, and then you might want to make another change. Now you want to lose another 5 pounds. You want to gain 5 more pounds of muscle. You want to make another $1 million, whatever it is. Then you have to go through that process again. You have to take the next step, become uncomfortable again, make a change, grow, make that $1 million, and then you're back, or then you're in the next step. It's this never-ending cycle, right? You don't just become disciplined and then you have it forever. You don't just become fit and have it forever. You don't just lose 100 pounds and then be at that weight forever. You have to keep on working towards it. Once you've done the hard part, yeah, it's easier because you built up the discipline, you've taken the necessary steps, you know what it's like to do these things. But you have to keep working towards it. You still have to do it, right? I've lost a bunch of weight, and it doesn't just stay off of me because I've lost it, right? I still have to go to the gym every day. I still have to eat healthy. I still have to work out. I still have to drink water. You still have to do all that stuff. You don't just like get to cruise by. Lindsay's in the chat. What got you here won't get you there. What got you here won't get you there. I like that. That's a good quote. And that's true. Where you are right now is not going to take you to the next step in life. You might have the same type of patterns. You might be able to replicate it, right? But you have to take a different step, or then you have to take that same step again. You have to take it further. It's not going to just like be handed to you on a golden platter. Some people get that. That's kind of like a gift that some people, maybe they were born with it, grew up with it, got lucky. I don't know, whatever it is, but that's not a common thing. And you can't bank on that. You can't rely on it. You have to work towards it. Excuse me. And I notice when I do solo shows, obviously I have to talk a lot because I'm the only one here, but I like get out of breath. I got to take sips. Sorry for the size, but yeah, I got to take like deep breaths. But yeah, going back just to kind of little recap for topic one. It doesn't have to be fancy, right? Again, everybody wants to have this perfect product and they never actually start. It won't be perfect until it sucks first. Let that sink in. It won't be perfect until it sucks first. You have to go through the suck. You have to allow it to suck. You have to embrace the suck. There's a reason why that's a quote, embrace the suck, right? In order for it to get better, in order for it to get perfect. People get so caught up and so hung up with making this perfect product, with talking about going to the gym. I always relate it back to the gym, right? It's just an easy thing to talk about. All right, I'm going to go to the gym next week because I'll be off on Monday and I can sleep in, and I'll go at 7 when I'm going to be the most energized. And then I can come home and I can rest until I have to work at 9 a.m. and all this stuff. They plan all this stuff out, and then something, right? Then they go through the week. Monday pops up, 7 a.m., and what happens? They don't go to the gym because something else happened. They got called into work early, and now they're, I'll go next Monday because I'm taking 2 days off, and I'll be able to go then. All this build up, all these wasted opportunities to have a perfect condition, to have a perfect time, and then it never happens. They do all these, or they have all these excuses in their mind they're going to go when it's the right time. There's no such thing as the right time. The right time is now. Right this second. Get up. Go to the gym. Make that phone call. Start a podcast. Hit record. Text that friend. I don't know. Whatever it is. The right time is now. There's no perfect condition. You're never going to feel ready. You're never going to want to do it. You're never going to feel comfortable. You just have to do it. And that's it. That's all I have for you tonight, guys. Short show. Just wanted to come on here, say a couple of my thoughts that I had for tonight. Thanks for hanging with me. And we'll see you on the next one. Episode 12. Code Unlocked. Have a great night, guys.